Welcome back, students, to the next session of English language. Today we'll be dealing with complex sentences. In the earlier sessions we have done simple sentences, the form and its formation, compound sentences and its formation, from simple to compound, and the kind of conjunctions to be used while we are transforming the sentences or joining the sentences. Today we'll be studying complex sentences. A complex sentence consists of one main clause and one or more subordinate clauses, dependent for their full meaning on the main clause. If you remember, in the simple sentences, we had one main clause and we did not have any subordinate clause. There was only one independent clause. Similarly, when we are doing compound sentences, two simple sentences are joined by a conjunction. So, technically, we have two simple sentences. While we have two simple sentences, each simple sentence has its own main clause. But in complex sentence, we have one main clause and one clause which is depending on the main clause to give its full meaning or to make this sentence complete in making sense. For example, we went home when the sun set. They rested when evening came. Now, in complex sentence like the above, we have the sentence which consists of two parts. The first sentence, we went home. It has a second part, when the sun set. In the second sentence, we have they rested. And in the second part, we had when evening came. As each part has a subject and a predicate of its own and is a form of a large sentence, each part of the sentence is a clause. However, we see that in the first and the second sentence, we went home and they rested makes sense by itself and can stand alone and has a separate existence. So this kind of a clause are called the main or the principal clause. The second part of the sentence, which has the clause when the sun set and when the evening came, cannot make complete sense by itself and therefore cannot stand alone. It depends on its full meaning on the clause. We went home or they rested. Such a clause is called a dependent or a subordinate clause. Examples: he went to Kolkata that he might find some work. We will be late unless we hurry up. Do not talk while you are eating. As soon as the bus arrives, the children rushed towards it. Despite his ill health, he did well in the examination. These are the few examples of complex sentences. There are various forms of complex sentences and there are various combinations of it. We deal with the first one. Combination of two or more simple sentences into a complex sentence. A simple sentence can be combined into a complex sentence by using noun clause, adjective clause, or an adverb clause. We come to the first, the using of a noun clause. A noun clause is a group of words which contain a subject and a predicate of its own and does the work of the noun. For example, I accept that I shall get a prize. Here it is expected that I shall get a prize. This is a noun clause that does the work of a noun. We have similar examples. He will be late, that is certain. It is certain that he will be late. The second example, He may be innocent, I do not know. I do not know whether he is innocent. Since noun clause does the work of a noun in a complex sentence, it can be the subject of a verb, the object of a transitive verb, the object of preposition in apposition to a noun or a pronoun, the complement of a verb of incomplete predication. Now we come to the various parts of it. In each of the following complex sentences, the noun clause is the subject of a verb. That you should say so surprises me. That it would rain seemed likely. What he said was true. When I shall return is uncertain. These are the forms of noun clauses which are used in the complex sentences. In each of the following complex sentences, the noun clause is the object of a transitive verb. He says that he won't go. I hope that it was true. She denied that she had written the letter. I cannot tell what has become of him. I do not know when I shall return. I asked the boy how old he was. Tell me why you did this. Tell me where you live. No one knows who he is. I earn whatever I can. Ask if he is at home. These are the noun clauses in which the object of the transitive verb is there. Now in the third form, in each of the following complex sentences, the noun clause is the object of a preposition. Pay careful attention to what I am going to say. There is no meaning in what you say. There were no complaints except that the day was too hot. In the next form, in which we have complex sentences using the noun clause in apposition to a noun or a pronoun. They felt sorry. They felt sorry that they lost the match. We see that the complex sentences using the noun clause in apposition to a noun or a pronoun. Your statement that you found the money in the street will not be believed. His belief that someday he would succeed cheered him through many disappointments. You must never forget this, that honesty is the best policy. It is feared that he will not come. It was unfortunate that you were absent. Now in each of the following complex sentences, we will see the noun clause which is used as complement of a verb of an incomplete predication. My belief is that he will not come. Her constant prayer was that child might live. His great fear is that he may fail. My wish is that I may please you. Their request will be that they may be allowed to resign. Life is what we make it. And the last example is, this is where I live. A clause coming after a construction consisting of an intransitive verb and an adjective does the work of a noun and is therefore treated as a noun clause. In each of the following complex sentences, the noun clause comes after an intransitive verb construction. Example: the child was afraid that he would fall. All of us are keen that you should succeed. They felt sorry that they lost the match. The patient was sure that he would recover. She did not seem hopeful that he would arrive. Please note, it is seen that a noun clause is generally introduced by the subordinating conjunction that. Sometimes, however, the conjunction that is omitted. For example, I know he did it. That here is omitted. With this, we come to the end of use of noun clause in the complex sentences. We'll continue in the next session with the adjective clause and adverb clause. Thank you. Stay home and stay safe.